How to deal with mean girls. How old were you when you had your first kiss? Would you start a podcast? Just know that it is completely normal. You never know, maybe the universe is just protecting you. Hey guys, it's Salva. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a little Q&A girl talk video. I've been meaning to do one of these videos for a while now. So we're just going to sit down, relax, and talk about all the girly things. So I asked on my Instagram story for you guys to ask me some questions, some girl related questions. Of course, we need our little drink. Okay, let's get started. First question, what is your favorite food / meal? I love a good burger. I love a good bacon cheeseburger, sometimes like add some mac and cheese on there, or like a fried egg. I love burgers. And of course you have to have it with fries. I mean, come on, who doesn't love fries? That's definitely my favorite, or one of my favorites. I also really love pizza. I love pasta. I just love food. Next, do you struggle with anxiety? Yes, I do. I have very bad social anxiety. I feel like I've always had that even when I was younger. I don't do well with big crowds or even just smaller crowds. I'm very introverted. I just like staying home a lot and not really conversing with people, which isn't really a good thing. But yeah, I do have very bad anxiety. I have panic attacks quite often and I freak out over the smallest things. I always think like, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? But in the end, most of the time, it turns out fine. Everything is okay. But yeah, I do struggle with anxiety. Next, how old were you when you had your first kiss? I was 15, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was 15. It's not like an insane story. We were just at the movies and he kissed me. That's pretty much it. How to deal with mean girls. So I am 26 and I feel like when we think of dealing with mean girls, we think of usually dealing with them in our teenage years or when we're in high school. But it turns out that unfortunately is not the case. You still kind of run into mean girls and guys too. But unfortunately, as girls, I feel like we tend to think that other girls will be nicer to us over guys, but that's usually not the case. But how to deal with them, I mean, it is easier said than done to just ignore them and, you know, not worry about what they think about you, what they say about you. It is easier said than done, but to be honest, that is the best way to deal with them, to just not care what they do or say about you, because odds are that if they're treating you that way or if they're talking about you in a certain way, then they are not happy with themselves. Because if someone was happy and content, they just wouldn't go around talking about you in a certain way or treating you in a certain way, and so they're most likely not happy themselves. But in a way, I do feel bad for them, because if they are not happy and not content with themselves, then I do feel bad, because I don't want them to feel that way and treat other girls in a bad way. And if you are being treated a certain way by those type of girls, I'm sure you also have friends and girls that do not treat you that way. So if someone is treating you a certain way, just know that not everybody is, and you have your besties. Do you struggle with body image? I do. I feel like it is pretty common for girls to struggle with body image, especially when they're going into their 20s and your body is sort of changing from your teenage body to your woman body. I know that was very hard for me personally, because you just see yourself gaining weight all of a sudden and you just don't look the same like you did years ago. Seeing the shift in going into my 20s of how my body was changing, it just didn't feel right. Like, you don't feel like yourself in a way. But just know that it is completely normal. It's natural, because you're becoming a woman, so things do change. So it is completely normal if you do feel that way. But yeah, personally, even now, I still kind of deal with body image, because like I said, you're used to a certain way of your body looking, and just from one moment to another, you see yourself in a completely different way, you know? And changing into your woman body isn't necessarily a bad thing. It is natural, it happens to everyone, but a healthy body is different for everyone. So as long as you feel healthy and good within yourself, that's all that matters. Advice for friendship breakups. Personally, I have dealt with a friendship breakup in the past. Unfortunately, that just happens as we get older. You tend to grow apart from people. Everybody's on their own path, doing their own things with work, whatever. And sadly, it usually does happen with people that you thought would be in your life forever in the long term, and usually with someone that you were really close with at one point. And also, back to the mean girls comment, you also tend to see them in a different way now after some things happen. Did have a friendship breakup with someone, just know that it most likely is for your own good. if that person was meant to stay in your life, they would have. You never know. Maybe the universe is just protecting you from something. Maybe they were supposed to just stay in your life for a certain period, but not forever, just to teach you certain lessons. And you never know. If they are meant to be in your life, maybe you guys will rekindle one day. Breaking up with a friend, per se, it might suck in the beginning because you could be like, wow, I really thought this person was my friend, that they would never hurt me in that way, or you thought that they would always be there, but just know that maybe the universe is protecting you because, like I said, if they were meant to be in your life, they would be. Last question, would you start a podcast? Yes, I would love to start a podcast. That is one of my goals for the future because I do obviously love doing YouTube, but I also love podcasts. And honestly, videos like this are most kind of like my favorite ones to film, just chill sit down videos of just me talking about whatever. And I feel like that'd be so much easier and fitting for a podcast because it is just essentially you talking. But I honestly have no idea how to start one at all. Equipment wise, editing wise, I have no idea. I also don't really know what I would talk about. I guess I would just talk about anything. I wouldn't have like a specific niche, kind of like what my channel is. I don't really have a niche. I just kind of film what I like. So I guess I would do the same thing for a podcast, just talk about whatever is on my mind, maybe pick a different topic for every episode. But yes, I would love to start a podcast, but like I said, I genuinely have no idea what to do, how to start one. So if you guys have any ideas or can help me in any way with starting one, let me know. Also, I don't know what I would name it because I feel like a lot of podcasts have such good catchy names. I just don't know what I would name mine, especially if I don't really know what the podcast would be about. I don't know what I would name it. So let me know in the comments what I could name my future podcast. All right guys, that's it for today's Girl Talk Q&A. Thank you so much for watching this video, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to follow me on my social media, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.